And we are recording. Hello, my name is Bryce Tubbs. With me today is Carlos Adell. He is helping brilliant coaches build ethical businesses online. He's a brand strategist and business coach who's helping you to save time, money, and energy. Is there anything else you'd like me to add to that introduction, Carlos?
Yeah, thanks, Matt. Thanks for the introduction. And yeah, one of the things that you've read is that I help brilliant coaches build ethical business. And the reason I say that is because you want to work with great people, because when you build your own business, you want to have fun. And the reason I'm working with coaches is because I'm a coach myself, and I enjoy talking to people who are like-minded and have the same passion and the same drive and the same kind of energy. And I mentioned the word ethical because in the online world, there is a lot of gurus, self-called gurus, and there's a lot of people promising riches and promising like huge results. And unfortunately, there's a lot of them that they don't deliver. And I know that because I bought into this stuff myself, and I spent a lot of money on things that didn't get me any kind of result. So this is one of the things that motivated me to basically to do the right thing and build an ethical business, because you really want to, if you want to do the right thing, if you want to make an impact in the world and make a significant change, there's ways to do it.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm really grateful that we have someone just like Carlos on today. If you want to get more interviews with people who are just like Carlos, people who have grown their business to extreme heights and have done a lot of great things in their life, I recommend you go join my group called Uncapped Growth Strategies. Now, everybody has a backstory, Carlos. What were you doing before you got into coaching? Yeah. All right, so what were you doing before you got into coaching?
Sorry?
What were you doing before you got into coaching?
Yeah. So basically, I'm an industrial engineer, and I started working in corporate when I was 24. And by age 29, I was stressed. I was overwhelmed. I couldn't sleep at night. I had all kind of anxiety problems, and I decided that wasn't for me, and I needed to do something more meaningful. And then I moved back to Australia, and I spent there 5 years. And during these 5 years, I started my own business, and I started helping people that were like entrepreneurs. And I started to get into the coaching industry, not because I was working, but I started my personal growth, personal development, and I started getting in touch with Tony Robbins and stuff like that. And I got my certifications. And since I had all this experience with businesses, I working in corporate and helping entrepreneurs build their own businesses, now it did make sense that on the one hand, I decided to build my own business as a coach. And when I finally found a way to get results with my own coaching business, I realized that there was a lot of coaches that they had this passion to make an impact, to help people, to support, but they couldn't make a living out of it. So the problem is not only for the coaches, but all the people that coaches can help. And unless they find a way to build a business and get results for themselves, there is no way that they're going to be able to help people.
Yeah.
So my background is in sales and engineering, in operations, and then, I've done like a lot of things, but basically business has been like a big passion of myself, and coaching and personal development is a personal growth. It is something that once you start, it never stops. Okay. So it made sense for me to do that.
Okay. I know that you work with coaches. Do you work with like a specific, segment of coaches, like life coaches versus executive, or is anybody who's considered a coach is who you work with?
I'm a certified ICF personal and executive coach. The reason I work with coaches is because 90% of people who become a coach, they have this drive, this passion to help other people. Now, the formula that I use, the system that I use to make a business online, which, by the way, now it's more important than ever because we cannot get out of our places. It is a way to understand how to craft your services, how to find your audience online, how to make your business sustainable and not trade your time for money. Now, I prefer a coach when it comes to the kind of coaches My clients go from health coaches to personal coaches to fitness coaches. It's almost any kind of coaches. Mindset, not executive, because I don't really work with corporate. And when you need to work with corporate or big companies, most of the times you cannot do everything online.
Yeah.
And the way I built my business, it was so I could travel the world. I was not thinking about getting stuck at home for like 2 months, but but it was more about the freedom of traveling. So I do everything online. So this is yeah. Am I answering the question, Mike?
Yeah, exactly. So I guess the next question is like within that, what are the main problems that you see? Because you talked about how the coaches were struggling to be able to like actually have a sustainable business. What are the main problems that you're seeing with coaches?
So the main problems that coaches have, and that happens across pretty much all entrepreneurs, is that they don't really know how to sell themselves. They don't really know how to build an audience, and they don't really know how to get the message across to their audience. And it gets really hard because the online world, there's a lot of people online, and you need to really stand out from the crowd. And the only way to do that is to build an audience that sees you as an authority. So the biggest issue that I see is that some coaches, they know how to build an audience. They get some traction when it comes to getting people around them on social media, but they don't really understand how to convert this audience into paid clients, which is basically selling themselves. So it is, when we talk about sales, this is a little bit a stigmatized word, but selling is something that we do all the time. I'm talking here and I'm selling myself to you. And because I want my message to come across and you to understand who I am, not because I try to manipulate you, because I really try to make you understand who I am and why I'm doing what I'm doing. So this is what most coaches struggle with, to get the message across.
Okay, that makes sense. So what is your vision for your business?
Well, the vision for my business, it's been changing. When I got started, I wanted to build a business that was allowing me to travel the world, make an impact. The first thing I did was to become part of 2 charities. And I've been sponsoring kids in India. And as my business has been growing, and my business grew from zero to $400,000 in the first year. So that opened up for me like a completely new perspective. Now, the vision that I have for my business is I want to build something that it requires less of my time, and it keeps generating the same or even more impact. So I have more time to spend with these kids to fly and travel the world and make an impact with things that go beyond my work and beyond my business.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
So the way I see my business, it's an instrument that allows me to make an impact in the world. Now, by me helping other coaches that might have the same kind of desire to make an impact, my impact it doesn't add up. It multiplies, because if I can help 100 coaches to help 100 people each, this is like 10,000 people that I'm helping, like in a relatively short period of time. So the impact that we make in the world, it doesn't stop with the person that we help, but it keeps spreading around. I mean, English is not my first language. I'm trying to explain that the best I can.
I mean, I think you're doing a good job. Can you talk a little bit more about building an audience who sees you as an authority? That's what a lot of people struggle at. Can you give some tips on how to do that?
Yeah. Look, this is one of my favorite topics, and one of the things that most people get wrong on social media when they want to sell the services is that they start selling their stuff all the time. Buy from me, book a call with me, free session, free strategy, and people don't want to buy into stuff that they don't know. You need to go through you need to help people go through the know, like, and trust factor, because they feel confident enough to buy from you. So when you build an audience online, what you really need to do, it is to stop selling. You need to stop sharing your journey, sharing who you are in the world, sharing your life, why you do what you do, because this is going to build an emotional connection with your audience. And this is why I call it ethical, because you persuading your audience not to do things that that are not going to serve them, but to create an emotional connection with you. And that doesn't mean that everyone's gonna love you. That means that people that like you because they resonate with your mission, with your message, with your journey, they're gonna connect with you. And this is going to be your audience. You really want to build an audience online that they become your raving fans. And my tips for that is when you it works the same in every single social media platform, because what we use is the 6 principles of influence. And there's a book that's called The 6 Principles of Influence from Robert Cialdini, that explains what they are. So you basically use the 6 principles to get your message come across. So it is helping people understand who you are, why you do what you do, the results that you get to your clients, and why and how you're doing the right thing. So the system that I use, it doesn't work if you are unable to get results for yourself or get results for your clients. I mean, I help my clients get results for the clients because it's all part of all the program. But the thing is that some people, the only thing they care about is making money and getting their results on their own. This never works, because if you're not doing that because you want to do a good for your clients and a good for the world or for the general public, it doesn't work. Make sense?
Yeah.
So you can fake who you are for like a short period of time, but it always come back to you. So this is why you need to focus on giving and making an impact and building this beautiful relationship with your clients. And then the results and money, it becomes a byproduct of your business, not the purpose of your business.
Mm.
So we need to focus on people and relationships, and then the money and the results will come.
Okay. Here's another thing that I hear a lot of people talking about, right? So big audiences that are not necessarily as connected, or small audiences with extreme emotional connection. Which one would you rather have?
Yeah, that's a really good question, actually. Look, what I suggest is you need to start small. You need to start small. It is better to have like an audience of 100 people that they really committed, they really love you, and they become your clients, that having an audience of 10,000 people being an influencer and not having any one client.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's a lot of influencers that they don't have money to buy food because they don't really understand how to build an emotionally connected audience that is ready to buy from you. Because the thing is that if they're ready to buy from you, if they're ready to pay attention to what you say, if they're ready to be helped by you, they will get results if you are doing the right thing. So now, social media allows us, understanding these principles of influence, understanding how to create content and how to get your message across, you can influence a lot of people. You can build a lot of, like an audience, a very audience in a very period of time. Like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, every platform has a different language. But once you understand the principles, this is like, you could speak Chinese. You could communicate to a Chinese because you know how to communicate your feelings, your language, your emotions. The only problem you have is you don't know the language. Once you understand the language, the barrier is down. So this is what happens with every social media platform. You can reach out to millions and thousands of millions of people. And once you understand the message that's going to break down the last barrier, then your message will come across. Okay. So it's look, my clients go from being known on Facebook to having like a pretty big audience, like, and when we talk about Facebook, we can go from 0 to having like 5,000 followers, like really quick. And you can convert this audience into paid clients, like really quick as well.
Yeah. Let's say that that someone in the audience watching, I'm thinking of a particular person. They have probably they've close to 50,000 connections on LinkedIn and on Facebook as well, but they can't actually monetize. Like either they don't understand the language or the people just don't resonate enough to buy. So it's like they follow, they comment, but they don't buy anything.
Yeah. The first thing, what I do with my clients when a problem like that happens, and it is a very common problem, that people have people and audiences that they engage with their content, but they have problems converting them. Now, what we need to work is on the kind of content that we're posting, the kind of message that we're getting across. Because if you always come up as the nice guy and no one knows what you're doing, well, how are they going to see you as someone who can help them? So we need to make sure that they understand what value we can bring to the table, what kind of transformations they can expect by working with us, and how you need to make it easy. Let's put it that way. If your message is if you're confused, you lose. Your message cannot be, hey, buy from me, because that's pushy. And I'm going to put a very clear example. You go to buy something, you are going to buy a shoes, right? Then you go to the shoe store and you get in, and the counter comes up to you right away and say, well, can I help you? What do you do? Oh, no, thanks, I'm looking, right? It's too soon. You're not ready to buy. You need to warm yourself up. You don't know what you want, but you need to look around, look at the contents, then you see the shoes, and then what happens? And then you want to try them out, but no one's coming up to you. What do? You get pissed off because you're, fuck, I've been here for half an hour, no one's coming up to me. So you need to understand this process on social media. There's going to be a moment where your clients or where your potential clients are going to be ready, but you need to show them the shoes that you're selling and exactly the results that they are going to get by working with you, without being pushy, without coming up to them and say, hey, buy from me, because you push them away. Mm. So it's sharpening your content, making sure that they see what you do, because they see the results that you get in your life. They see the results that your clients are getting, and you can show them, but not say, hey, buy from me. You show them the success that they can expect, and they'll see you as an authority because you've achieved this kind of results. And then guess what? You will be posting something one day about, hey, if you're struggling with this stuff, I'm finding people to work with. And people will ask you, hey, how can you help me? And then they see you as an authority, and when you offer help, they say, yes, I want to work with you. Mm. But you need to build this relationship and this authority up.
Okay. Are you working on any actually, let's ask this question first. What is success to you?
Success to me, that's a really good question, man. You make good questions. To me, success, look, there's something that not everyone knows about me. I've been about to die like 4 times in my life, and that means that I understand that life is something very short. We have like a very limited time, and we need to make sure, and that's my opinion, that we make the most out of the time that we have. Now I feel in a rush because I know that my time could be over any time. So to me, success is living a life of design, not a life of reaction. You say, hey, what I want to do with my life, I want to make an impact with my business, I want to grow a family, I want to have kids, and I want to make sure that these kids have everything, I provide everything they might need, and I want to build something that it lasts beyond myself and it makes an impact in 100 years' time. Mm. If this is what I think my life needs to be, success to me is achieving that. Some people think that life is about lying on the beach and go fishing and reading. Perfect. There's nothing wrong with it. But what it is not success to me is like living a life that it's not what you exactly would like to live.
Okay. It's interesting. I like that. It's pretty cool, actually. Yeah. So, are you working on any special projects? That can be anything, a course, a conference, and probably not a conference right now, but
yeah, yeah. So the thing is that this coronavirus, man, this is something that it got here, and we were all off work. And I had a lot of projects, I had a lot of public speaking events and stuff like that. But of course, now my priority is understand the current situation. I'm observing what's going on around. I'm trying to make sure that my services can still help people more than ever. I'm trying to give as much as I possibly can. And honestly, my project now is making sure that when this situation is over, I can serve my clients in the best possible way. Mm-hmm. I spend a lot of time serving my current clients as well, because that's what they bought into, and I'm there for them. Um, I'm excited to see how we come out of all this stuff. At the moment, if I can give an advice, or if anyone wants to take my advice, this is not a time to make big decisions.
Mm.
This is a time to make sure that we get everything we need, make sure that we take action, that we don't live out of fear, and we need to keep our cool, because this situation is going to happen. Now, if you're thinking about making big business decisions, big investments, if you want to do big investments now, it is time to find like someone who really understands about investments, because I mean, look, this morning I was talking to one of the guys who works with Tony Robbins, and when they do these health and wealth mastery events, this is one of the guys that speaks there. There's a guy from Australia. He runs one of the biggest hedge funds companies in there, and that was his advice. Has like, look, now it's a really good time to invest. You need to know really well where you put your money when it comes to making business decisions, and I would say even life decisions. You want to make sure that you make these decisions out of certainty. That means people are freaking out. There's a lot of hysteria. There's a lot of hype around. You need to make sure that you keep your cool before you make a decision. And I'm just doing that. I'm just observing. I'm just trying to look at things from an objective perspective, and taking little steps forwards.
Mm.
My project after that, it would be keep growing my business and keep building it in a way that it requires less of my time, and I can make a bigger impact.
Okay. Cool. So how can people learn more about you?
Yeah, look, I'm basically now on LinkedIn. I spend most of my time and most of my efforts on LinkedIn, and it is Carlos Adell. I don't know if you want to share my link or something, but
Yeah, you're going to be tagged. We share the post. If you want to spell his name, there's also right underneath this picture. It's spelled CARLOS space ADELL. But yeah, we're going to tag each other when we post.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, in these days, today I posted about that. Anyone, look, we got like a massive need now of running our businesses online, and I think it's time for us to give. And fortunately, I'm in a position that I can. I mean, I'm not in a rush to make money. I'm not in a rush to get the results myself, and I want to make sure that I provide as much as I possibly can. And my post today was about, if anyone is looking at moving online, if anyone cannot work at their daily jobs and they need to pivot their coaching or consulting businesses online, I'm giving away free calls, so I can analyze a little bit the situation, give some advice and some recommendations. This is just about supporting people that might be in trouble at the moment, because there's a lot of fear in the air, and I understand, because people are losing their jobs. So look, I'm going to take the opportunity here to offer my help to anyone that might think that I can assist them in the journey.
Okay. Excellent. I really appreciate you. It's really good to see people actually like care. I believe that when you care, you should still make a pretty good amount of money, but it's really great to see that you lead with impact first, I really like that.
I mean, I think the most successful people are the people that are the ones that give the most.
Oh.
And I think, like, you need to give before you get anything. And I'm a big fan of Tony Robbins, and I believe that, in terms for you to get, you need to first understand how to give.
Let me ask you this question that just popped my mind, right? So there are, on the internet, right, there are a lot of people who are giving different information about how much to give. What are your thoughts on that? Just give everything, or selective?
You don't, I mean, you need to give everything. You need to give it all. I mean, you cannot hold anything back. And some people say, no, you cannot give it all, because what people, they'll walk away with the information. That's fine. Yeah. Because these people that are fishing for some free information, they're not your clients anyway. And people don't pay for information, they pay for implementation. And you need to show your value. You need to stand out from the crowd, and the only way for you to be different is to show who you really are, and hold nothing back. Give it all away, because people will see that you're a giver. You're not someone who just wants to take the money and run away.
Yeah.
This is like this, honestly. Funny enough, when I started, now it's a little bit over a year ago, and I made like $40,000 in my first month in business, and I'm like, wow, that's great. The second month, I was in a rush to make more than the first month because I had this belief that I needed to make more. And then I shift my focus, and instead of adding and helping people, I started focusing on getting results and making money and closing sales. And funny enough, I didn't make any money because my shift and my mindset was completely in the like looking to the right direction, the wrong direction. And once you start saying, hey, you know what, whatever, I don't care about the results, I don't care about how much money you make, I'm going to support everyone I can, I'm going to give as much as I possibly could. And then funny enough, it happens all the time, and then you start getting results.
Oh wow. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that you started just a year ago. That's pretty great, man. How has your life changed in the past year?
Well, look, in the past, now it's March. So February last year, actually, I quit corporate because I knew that I needed to put my focus in my business if I wanted to make it grow. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna go back to corporate. It might take me a year. It might take me 2 years, but I'm gonna do that. And my goal was to make $5,000 a month, and this was like my ultimate goal. And the thing is that I made, like as I said, like the first month I made $40,000, and then my mind blew away because I'm like, I've been dreaming too little, because the potential when you get the right strategy and you do the right thing, it's huge. And so I needed to rebuild my dreams and my goals and everything else. And then I made my first six figures when I had been in the business for 6 months. And as I said, in my first year, in 12 months, I made $400,000. Then how it changed my life. I went from a corporate mindset, scarcity mindset, thinking that I could just make so much money and live make so much impact, if any at all, to understand that I can make as much money as I can, as much impact as I want, and I can build something extraordinary. So this is my life didn't change much because I do the same things. I wear the same fucking clothes. I got a tattoo in my hand. That's the only thing that I did. I'm a little bit crazy. Everything else is the same. I have my family. I'm just same things. But my mindset has expanded enormously because I understand that the potential that we have, it is huge.
Okay. Excellent. We asked where you're going to. Again, I just want to say thank you so much. For the people watching, remember, go follow him on LinkedIn. His name is spelled CARLOS space ADELL. Really great talking to you. I really appreciate you. I'm glad that I got to find a little more about your life.
Thanks,
and why
Bryce.
time is so important to you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Also, guys, thanks so much for watching the interview to this point. If you guys want a chance to get around people who are like-minded and people who are positive and constantly trying to push themselves forward, I recommend you go check out the link either above or below the video to my free group called Uncapped Growth Strategies. Have a great day, guys. Talk to you soon, and we're done in 3, and 2, and 1.